Good morning to all. Myself Shivani Arora, PGT Chemistry from KV1 Firozpur Kent. So today I am taking up fifth chapter of 11th standard chemistry, that is states of matter part 3. So after watching this video you will be able to know about various postulates of kinetic molecular theory of gases. Secondly, knowledge of behavior of real gases and reason of deviation from ideal behavior. Third, mathematical expression of van der Waal equation. Fourth, understanding of compressibility factor and boil point. Fifth, liquefaction of gases and critical constants. Let's first take up kinetic molecular theory of gases. First assumption is gases consist of large number of identical particles, atoms or molecules that are so small and so far apart on the average that the actual volume of the molecules is negligible in comparison to the empty space between them. Second, there is no force of attraction between the particles of a gas at ordinary temperature and pressure. Third, particles of a gas are always in constant and random motion. Fourth, particles of a gas move in all possible directions in straight lines. During their random motion, they collide with each other and with the walls of the container, and pressure is exerted by the gas as a result of collisions of the particles with the walls of the container. Fifth assumption, collisions of gas molecules are perfectly elastic. This means that total energy of the molecules before and after the collision remains same. Sixth, at any particular time, different particles in the gas have different speeds and hence different kinetic energies. So we can talk only about average kinetic energy of the gas, which is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. Now a gas which obeys all gas laws like Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, Gay-Lussac's law, and ideal gas equation is known as ideal gas. But in actual practice, gases tend to show different behavior from ideal behavior. So they tend to deviate from ideal behavior, particularly at high pressure and at low temperature. So if we plot curves of PV with P, we get different behavior. We get deviations from ideal behavior. So for ideal gas, PV should be a straight line parallel to P axis. But in actual practice, we see that for hydrogen and helium gas, PV value goes on increasing with increase in P continuously. And in case of carbon monoxide gas and methane gas, PV value first decreases, reaches a minimum value, and then it goes on increasing continuously with increase in P. Then deviation from ideal behavior also becomes apparent when pressure versus volume plot is drawn. The pressure versus volume plot of experimental data and theoretical calculated from Boyle's law should coincide. It is apparent from the graph that at a very high pressure, the measured volume for a real gas is more than the calculated volume uh, for ideal gas, which is expected ideally. And at low pressures, this measured and calculated volumes, they coincide each other. So the question arises, why do gases show deviation from ideal behavior at high pressure and at low temperature? So the two assumptions of kinetic molecular theory of gases are faulty. First assumption which is faulty is that there are no attractive or repulsive interactions between the molecules of gas. So this is true at low pressure and high temperature, but when the conditions are reversed, temperature is low, pressure is high, then the molecules come close to each other, their motions are slowed down, then attractive and repulsive interactions start operating. So this assumption that no attractive or no repulsive forces exist is wrong. Second assumption which is wrong is that volume of molecules is negligible as compared to the total volume of the gas. So this is also true at low pressure and at high temperature. But at high pressure and at low temperature, molecules come close to each other. Now we cannot neglect the volume of the molecules as compared to the total volume of the gas. So molecules themselves occupy some space which cannot be neglected now. So they get less space for their movement. And at high pressures, so we have to introduce two terms, one for pressure correction and second for volume correction. Now at high pressures, molecules do not strike the walls of the container with full force because these are dragged back, they are pulled back by the other molecules due to molecular attractive forces. So the pressure which we observe for a real gas, it is less than the pressure which we expect for an ideal gas. So we will have to add here a pressure correction term, which is AN square upon V square. So P ideal is equal to P real plus AN square upon V square. Here A is a constant which is known as van der Waals constant. Similarly, the volume occupied by molecules is also to be considered at high pressure and at low temperature. So we will have to subtract a term NB from V. V is the total volume of the gas. So NB is the volume occupied by N moles of gas. So B is called excluded volume or co-volume. So it is B is not the actual volume of the molecules. It is 4 times the actual volume of the molecules because gas molecules are in constant motion. So B is also another constant. It is another van der Waals constant. So we have introduced here two terms. One is AN square upon V square. Second is NB. So initially we had ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. So we will have to add a pressure correction term AN square upon V square with the observed pressure, in the observed pressure P real, so that it becomes equal to P ideal. Similarly, we have to subtract NB from V. So we will get a new equation P plus AN square upon V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT. So this equation is known as van der Waals equation and it is for N moles of gas. And constants A and B are van der Waals constant and their value depends on the nature of the individual gases. So A is a measure of the magnitude of intermolecular attractive forces within the gas and it is independent of temperature and pressure. Similarly, B is a measure of the size of the molecules. So greater is the size of molecules, greater will be the value of B. Now the deviation from ideal behavior can be measured in terms of compressibility factor Z. So Z is the ratio of PV to nRT for N moles of gas. So Z is equal to PV upon nRT. For ideal gas, Z is equal to 1. And for real gases, there can be two situations. When Z is less than 1, then gas shows negative deviation and PV is less than nRT. And we say that gas is more compressible than expected from ideal behavior. Similarly, when Z is greater than 1, then gas shows positive deviation and PV is greater than nRT. And we say that gas is less compressible than expected from ideal behavior. So if we plot a curve between Z and P, we see that all the gases, they have value Z is equal to 1 at very low pressures and then at very high pressures, all gases have value of Z greater than 1. And for gases like nitrogen, methane and carbon dioxide, the value of Z is less than 1 at intermediate pressures and at high pressures it is also greater than 1. So again to the previous slide, we see that at very low pressures all gases have Z is equal to 1 and behave as an ideal gas. At high pressures Z greater than 1. So these gases are difficult to compress, whereas Z is less than 1 at intermediate pressures. And there is one more term, boil point or boil temperature. So the temperature at which a real gas obeys all ideal gas laws over an appreciable range of pressure is called boil temperature or Boyle's point. Now, the boil point depends upon the nature of the gas. Above boil point, real gases show positive deviations from their ideality and Z values are greater than 1, and the forces of attraction between the molecules are very feeble. Below boil temperature, real gases first show decrease in Z value. With increase in pressure, the values reach a minimum value, and on further increase in pressure, the value of Z increases continuously. So as was shown in the graph. Now, you know that PV is equal to nRT, and on rearranging V ideal is equal to nRT upon P. Now here Z is equal to PV real upon nRT. Here it should be V real instead of V ideal. So Z is equal to PV real upon nRT. Now putting the value of nRT upon P from ideal gas equation. So if you put value of nRT upon P from ideal gas equation, so the numerator will be V real and in denominator we will get V ideal. So Z will become equal to V real upon V ideal. So this is another expression for compressibility factor. Next topic is liquefaction of gases. So we can liquefy gases by applying high pressure and lowering the temperature. So as by applying high pressure and when we lower the temperature, gaseous molecules, they come close to each other. Their motion is slowed down and gases, the intermolecular force of attraction becomes stronger and the gases liquefy. So Andrews plotted isotherms of carbon dioxide on various temperatures. So pressure versus volume graph. So later it was found that all real gases behave like carbon dioxide. So it was noticed that at very high temperatures, gases could not be liquefied. So this carbon dioxide behaves, this carbon dioxide follows Boyle's law at 50 degrees Celsius and 31.1 degrees Celsius, and it is in gaseous state. It follows normally Boyle's law, but when the temperature is 30.98 degrees Celsius, then something interesting takes place. At 30.98 degrees Celsius, carbon dioxide gas remains gas up to 73 atmospheric pressure. At 73 atmospheric pressure, liquid carbon dioxide gas appears for the first time at 30.98 degrees Celsius. So this temperature is called critical temperature. So critical temperature for carbon dioxide is 30.98 degrees Celsius. So this is the highest temperature at which liquid carbon dioxide is observed. So above this temperature, carbon dioxide, it is gas. So we can define critical temperature as the temperature above which a gas cannot be liquefied howsoever high the pressure may be. So similarly, we can have another terms also like we have critical volume. So volume of 1 mole of a gas at critical temperature is called critical volume and it is denoted by VC. And similarly, we have critical pressure. So pressure required to liquefy the gas at critical temperature is called critical pressure and denoted by PC. And the three constants, critical temperature, pressure, and volume, are collectively known as critical constants. So if we go back to the previous slide, we see that the curves which are below 30.98 degrees Celsius, uh, let's take up isotherm at 21.5 degree Celsius. So at 21.5 degrees Celsius, carbon dioxide remains as a gas only up to point B. So up this A to B portion, it shows that the carbon dioxide is in gaseous state. Now at B, condensation starts. So at point B, liquid of a particular volume appears. Further compression from B to C does not change the pressure. So liquid and gaseous carbon dioxide coexist along this line BC, and at this point C, all the gas has been condensed, and further application of pressure merely compresses the liquid as it is shown by this steep line. So at C, the condensation is complete. Now, if we increase the pressure to a large extent, there is only small decrease in volume. There is very small decrease in volume because liquids are very less compressible. So below 30.98 degrees Celsius, each curve shows the similar trend. Only length of the horizontal portion increases at low temperature. For example, you can see that at 13.1 degrees Celsius, this length of horizontal portion has increased. So we can say there is continuity between the gaseous and liquid state, and term fluid is used for either a liquid or a gas to recognize this continuity. So liquid can be seen as a very dense gas. Then at critical, liquid and gas can be distinguished only when the liquid is below its critical temperature and its pressure and volume lie under the dome. So in this area, dome shaped area, the liquid and gas both coexist. So then at critical temperature, liquid passes into gaseous state continuously, and the surface separating two phases disappears. A gas below the critical temperature can be liquefied by applying pressure and is called vapor of the substance. So carbon dioxide gas below its critical temperature is called carbon dioxide vapor. Then assignment related to this topic. First question is, why do gases show deviation from ideal behavior at high pressure and low temperature? Write van der Waals equation for n moles of a real gas. Second, what is the significance of van der Waals constant A and B? Third, what is compressibility factor? Fourth, which gas out of the following gases shows maximum deviation from ideal behavior? Methane, ammonia, hydrogen, or nitrogen. Fifth, define critical temperature, critical pressure, and critical volume. Sixth, distinguish between vapor and gas. Thank you.